Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 664 of the DrunkNerds podcast. I'm, as always, I'm Tyler, and joining me with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Sir Colonel Gables. What's up, buddy?
Oh man, I'm doing all right. Just trying to relax a bit after the workday. Got done with night one of WrestleMania. There was really like one great match towards the end of the night, but other than that, though, it's just been the regular type of stuff, you know. But I did have a chance to enjoy a little bit of stuff on my birthday last Sunday,
Nice.
and I mostly just played and beat Turtles in Time.
Hmm.
So that's pretty much what I wanted to go and accomplish. But other than that, though, how have you been doing, Tyler?
Oh, clanging and banging as always. Doing okay. Otherwise, it's not too excited with me. Gables, I know talking about dreams, other people's dreams in particular. It's like talking about other people's fantasy football teams. It's just no one wants to hear about it. Um, I recently had I had to increase my medication, and it's fucking with me, man. I told you recently I had the weird dream about Milk Tank. That's still fucking with me. I had a dream, maybe a nightmare, that I was at a steakhouse and I was asking the guy to describe um, how he's supposed to like the meats to me, like at the steakhouse, and like what goes well with what, like the pairing of like the sides and stuff. And he somehow
Mm.
described all the meats to me and the sides like the '98 Chicago Bulls.
Well, like the announcer announcing the Chicago Bulls or something like
I
that.
don't. He was like somehow the steamed carrots and Dennis Rodman. That analogy, I don't remember what it was, but I remember like that makes a lot of sense. And then somebody with Tony Kukoc was in there. I think he had something to do with the roles. No idea, Gables. I just distinctly remember him describing the Kobe beef as the Jordan of beef. And I'm like, okay. And then the T-bone was Scottie Pippen. So I don't know. But yeah, this was yeah, I don't know. It was I don't know. I need to talk to my doctor. Cause I'm having some weird dreams and some bad sleeps. But yeah, it's I'm doing okay. Yeah, it's it
I gotta
maybe didn't
stop for
help
that one.
too that I ate a bunch of ice cream that night. For dinner. Oh, Gables is walking away. Oh God, he left me alone. He's gonna go make fun of me probably to his dad and tell his dad about how I had a dream about. He's gonna mess it up though. He's like, Tyler's dreaming about Milk Tank and Dennis Rodman. I don't know. It's fucking weird. But yeah. Anyways, okay, Gables is gone. All right. We're just gonna. Jesus. Now I'm all thrown off because Gables is gone. We're 2 minutes in the show. He leaves me. Anyways, this is the video game. This is a video game podcast. I'm Tyler. That's Gables. He's not here right now, but normally he's right there. If you're watching us on YouTube, he's normally right there. But every week we get together and talk about video games, everything we love and hate about them, everything in between. We've been doing this for almost 13 years. Is that right? Almost 12 years. Sorry. We're not that old yet. But we're doing this for over almost 12 years now. Yeah, if you guys want to help us out, sorry, it is 12:30 in the morning now on Saturday night. This is what happens after we record after midnight. It just things get weird. But anyways, if you guys want to support us, we don't have like a Patreon. There's no way to like directly help us with like money wise, but we do this for free. We do this for fun. If you guys want to support us, best way to do that is really go to YouTube and like and subscribe over there. Share with your friends, leave comments. Sharing probably the best thing you could do on top of the subscribing and the liking, I guess. Helps us with the algorithm. Also, whenever you listen to podcasts at, we're probably on it. Apple, Spotify, whatever else is out there. We're most likely on it. 5-star review, subscribe to us. Even if you listen to us elsewhere or you listen to us on YouTube or whatever, just go to you don't have to download it, but if you can just go subscribe to us on like Apple or Spotify or wherever, leave us a review. That'd be really appreciative. That would help us out. But yeah, I don't know. This is weird now. Gables just is not here, and I don't know how to like. Normally he leaves like when I'm talking about like a video game or something, and like I can just continue on without him, and he's just gone, and I don't know what to do. He's still probably making fun of me about this whole thing. Now he's probably talking about like Steve Kerr, and somehow that has to do with like I don't know mashed potatoes or something. But yeah, I don't know. We're gonna continue on with like Gables. I don't know. I'm just gonna set it up. Gables will be back eventually. I hope. Maybe. I don't know. Hopefully everything's okay. But anyways, this is weird. This is very weird. Anyways, yeah. So it's gonna be another Nintendo week, guys. I mean, as is kind of how it's been going the last few weeks now. It's been, I feel like, a month now of just Nintendo stuff. But yeah, so the Nintendo Switch 2, we got pre-order information now. We got a date for that one. It's coming. We could pre-order it April 24th. Sounds like a lot of places are going to be doing like stuff at like midnight Eastern time in America and in the United States. The good news is the price of the console did not go up. It's still going to stay the same, $450 for the base model, $500 if you include if you want the Mario Kart bundle. On the upside though, with that, well, on the downside of that though, is it sounds like the accessories, or it is like it doesn't sound like it is the case that accessories will be going up. They did confirm though, like Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza will be $80 digitally and physically, and Donkey Kong will be $70 digitally and physically. So we do finally have confirmation 3 weeks later on all that. I feel like we knew that, but it's just nice to finally have some like real confirmations about stuff. But for the most part, though, all the accessories are going up. It looks like about $5, except for I believe the Switch dock is going up $10. So so we have here like the Pro controller is going to 85 from 80 to 85. Joy-Con 2 controllers are going from 90 to 95. Charging grip is, I think, was 35, so it's going to 40 now. The Joy-Con strap, so the strap-on is going from 10 to 14, so that's not a bad deal. The wheel, the fucking, I can't believe that 20 years later we're still selling wheels for these things. That's going from 20 to 25. Switch 2 cameras going from 50 to 55. The PD Piranha camera that I can't remember who's making that one. Nikon or something probably. That I think it's like $30 or something is looking a lot better, even though it only does 480p. I mean, these things are gonna, like, these cameras are gonna work at like 8 frames a second anyway, so it probably doesn't really matter. The dock is going from 110 to 120 as well. The carrying case is going to 40. The all-in-one carrying case is 85. What the hell is the difference? What's in the all-in-one carrying case, I wonder? AC adapter is 35, and then the Switch, the SD micro SD express card is going to 60. I don't know what the price that was before. I feel like it was already 60, maybe. I was telling Gables though, I did notice that the one express card that seems like a lot of people were buying ahead of time, that one was like $60 or 50 something, like 55, $60 on the day of the direct. And I looked at it yesterday and it's now over $140. So if you guys think you're going to need one of those express cards, maybe you want to buy that now or soonish. I'm assuming they do have a Nintendo, actual Nintendo one. Yeah, like for Samsung. So I don't know, maybe that one's still 60, but like the one that it seemed like everybody, like the base one everybody's gonna buy, like that thing is like tripled in price the last few weeks. So maybe if you haven't bought one, buy it now. I don't know, or maybe just at this point wait. Who knows? But Gables is back now. Gables, I'm sure you heard me. Like we're talking about the pre-order and the price increases and all of the accessories and everything. They did all say though that the price could go up later depending on how things go. But I mean, overall, I mean, what was your reaction to the news of the fact that we're getting the pre-order here next week in a few days, and then on top of that, like, you know, the price staying the same and the price is going up on the accessories?
Okay, so my initial reaction to that is like I'm not surprised in terms of like some things going up. I'm glad they didn't decide to go and chalk it all up on the console side endpoint because they want to try to maintain it. They want to try to maintain it close to around that $500 mark as possible, and maybe not like so much as trying to tack on their $50 to $100 on that, because it's already going to be it's already kind of questionable as it is for some people to want to try to invest in like $500 instead of a system with like some bits of the games that'll fluctuate between that whole $60 to $80 type of range depending upon what. But as it stands though, I just take a look at the price like increase for a lot of those accessories. I'm like, well, I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. It's just one of those type of things where it's going to be differentiating for each person. You know, it's like if you want to get that $85 Pro controller, and like if you want to get that now 100 some odd dollar like micro express SD card and stuff, it's kind of like what you and I were talking about on Discord, like via messaging and stuff before like we began recording the podcast for tonight. With all things said and done, it's like you're looking at, let's say you get the bundle for like $500, and then all of a sudden you get the Pro controller that's like 85, then you get like a carrying case, there's like another 40, you know, the all-in-one stuff with the screen protectors and this and that. You're looking at least paying at minimum like $700 and that would include the game Mario Kart World, or even if it doesn't include that, and you still get like the $450 like model and stuff, you're still looking around that $700 to probably $800 range in order to try to get the full extent of what you need as a baseline for the Switch 2. So, in a way, it sucks because a lot of the accessories and stuff people could have bought at launch are now to the point to where people are just like, I don't know, this is really like kind of questionable. To, well, maybe I'll just wait it out or something like that. But it's honestly, it just pretty much sucks all the way around. I mean, people don't want to overpay for something they don't feel is worth it.
Mm.
But yeah, it's just something that we gotta have to deal with this Nintendo Switch stuff. I mean, it sucks with everyone else doing it inside the game industry and stuff, but
Yeah.
oh,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish up. That's fine. Sorry.
well, the last thing I just wanted to say is like, now is just going to be kind of the thing that people are going to want to just dogpile and try to pre-order this thing next Thursday, you know. And regardless of like certain price stuff, there will be a bunch of people at that pre-order thing come like either midnight Eastern Standard Time or 9 p.m. Pacific or 11 p.m. or something like that, like Central or wherever.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a fucking rat race, dude. Regardless of the prices going up and stuff, it's not going to stop people from wanting to get this system.
Yeah. No. I mean, this thing could be $1,000, and it was gonna sell out at launch no matter what. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that is, like whatever. I mean, I feel like I don't know what the cutoff would be for like the general audience before this thing would like. Never mind. I don't want to get this thing. Like, I was even thinking about it myself. Like, say this thing did go up and they raised the price of the console. I'm like, at what point would I say no? And I was just like, if it went up $50, I'm like, no, I'd still get it. $100? Yeah, I'd probably still get it. I'm like, $150? I'm like, I'm like, man, I'm like, would I be okay paying $600 for that Mario? Like, not okay. Like, definitely that would have sucked. But like, would I have done it? Like, probably, yeah. I'm not happy about. I'm not happy to admit that, but I mean, I probably would have done it. Like $650, $700, and I'd probably like when it got closer to 700, I'd definitely be out. For me, it's like I don't know. I mean, obviously, it's case by case. Like, there's definitely like, there's a reason why whenever a new console comes out, everybody wants to have games out at launch, and there's always like the console makers, especially Nintendo, want to have all the accessories out there. Want to have like that's why we're getting the steering wheels again like the umpteenth time. It's like I remember I worked at a game store, not GameStop, in the 2006 when the Wii launched and the PS3
Yes.
launched, and I remember like we just got bombarded with like the shovelware games and all the fucking like there's the tennis racket you can like or the baseball bat or whatever, like all the like the golf club, like all the like accessories and like garbage plastic toys that like because they sold because people bought a Wii. They wanted to buy they wanted to buy extra shit with it. And it's just like when you buy a new console, it's like, when I bought my Switch, I bought a bunch of extra games with it. Like not a bunch, I bought a few extra games with it. Like when the PS5 came out, I bought like there's like I bought that what was that Sackboy Big Adventure and stuff like at launch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like I would if that would have came out 6 months later, I would not have bought it. But like I bought it just because it was a launch game. I feel like this time around it's different. For me, we're like. Because so many of the games that are coming to this thing at launch, the majority of them are games that are already on other platforms and will be cheaper and probably run better on like a PS5 or an Xbox Series S and X. And like I said, like like you could probably like some of these games like you can probably get for $20-$30 and are gonna be like on these other consoles that they'll run better on, or do I want to pay full price for them on the Switch 2? I'm like, no, it's okay. For me, it's like, I'm gonna be I'm just gonna buy. All I really want is the system and Mario Kart. I'm not worried about Pro Controller. Hey, like honestly, people like I know you want to have like the first party like the Pro Controller. Yeah, it's $85. It's a lot plus tax. I get that. It's expensive. But like I would like it's good quality. I'm not gonna like knock Nintendo. Like their controllers are good quality. But I just saying like I've been saying this 8-bit dough, just like they are like really well made and they are a lot cheaper and those like they are really well made quality controllers. So I recommend if you're looking at buying a controller for the Switch 2 at launch, just buy one of those. It's Bluetooth. It's gonna work for this new console. Or if you still got your Pro controller for Switch 1, and like you're like, hey, you already probably can spend a bunch of money. You need to find ways to save some cash on this thing, at least for now. If you have these things, or like I'm telling you guys, like there are ways to save some money on this thing at launch, especially if you want to like if you want to decide between buying a pro controller or a couple accessories or a game, like yeah, there's ways you can save money. Or like think about, do I really need that steering wheel? Do I really need this camera? Like no, like you probably don't. There will probably be like just as good third party carrying cases that are gonna be half the price. So there are ways to like save money for this thing, but yeah, like
Absolutely.
yeah, like for me personally though, like I'm just gonna like if I just get the $500 bundle, or even if I just have to get the $450 bundle and then buy Mario Kart separately, which yeah, I mean it's 30 extra bucks I don't want to spend, but like that's all I need. I'll be good. This might be the cheapest launch or the easiest launch for me ever, outside of like getting the console. Like that's good. Like that's the hard part, but like I'm not worried about like getting all these games with it. So it's like I'm pretty much good for until Donkey Kong, and then I'm probably be good until like Hyrule Warriors Pokemon come out, because like.
Yeah, that's kind of like something with me, dude, because this is going to be probably one of the easiest launch things for me as well. I mean, this is not going to be like the Switch to where I had to wait like over a month and a half or something for. And even so, I already had everything else pretty much like bought and like things like that beforehand. Like I bought Breath of the Wild before I even bought a system,
Mm,
right? I bought a case, I bought like screen protectors and stuff like that. It wasn't all at once, like after launch. It was just sporadically. Even the
yeah.
memory card stuff I did. So with this Switch 2 and stuff, it's like I am just going to progressively just chip away at it and stuff, because I really want to try to get that system first and foremost. I want to try to get, if possible, that $500 thing with the digital Mario Kart world
Mm,
and stuff. And if that's not an option and stuff, I have backup stuff. I can do whatever. It's just, when it comes to me, I already have a lot of the stuff from the previous Switch. So my Pro controller still works well. I can use that for the regular Switch, for Switch 2. My old Nintendo Switch case, I mean, the damn Switch 2 has almost the same dimensions, for God's
yeah.
sake. And so it's like I can use my old case and
Yeah.
stuff. But that's just for me. I mean, other people will want to get things brand new, and like I said, to each their own and stuff. But yeah, it just basically it's a case by case stuff, because at the end of the day, the reason why people buy a Nintendo system is to play Nintendo games.
Yeah. And that's kind of like, yeah, for me, like, yeah, Nintendo is like, it's a first party console for me, especially. I feel like even more like just generations, because it's going to be like having a Steam Deck, because like I'd buy a lot of indie games on Switch, because when the Switch first came out, that was like the go-to place outside of Steam. Switch was like usually the go-to place for indie games, and it's like now I got a Steam Deck, like that's gonna be Steam Deck. Like if I can only buy it on Steam, I'll just or if it comes to Steam or Switch first, I'm gonna play it on Steam probably on my Steam Deck before that. But yeah, I mean, like, look, I mean, I get the frustration with the price point. Like, it definitely is. Like, I mean, I talked about this for over a year now about like, like with Nintendo has always charged a little more of a premium. Like that's why they don't drop the price of their stuff, because they know the premium product. They feel like lowering the price of theirs is like diminishes the value of it. Um, and yeah, like obviously, like I talked about like for a long time, Nintendo has like always been very competitive when they've been like the pricing has been competitive. Like they've always had the great games. It's just like the get in price was always like they've always been under everybody else. Like you mentioned, like you
Mm-hmm.
want to buy Switch 2 and then a couple of games or some accessories, you're looking at a PS5 Pro here. It's like, and like at a certain point, it's like, well, I'm gonna spend this much. If like, obviously you can't compare the games and stuff like first party wise, but like if you're like looking like I got all these third party games, I got all these games that have been out for years, like I can buy a PS5 for $450 or an Xbox Series S for $300 and get Game Pass. It's like, I mean that I mean I know that not for everybody, but there'll be some people that like they just look at like the value in gaming, and it's like that's gonna play a factor. Like we talked about with the Wii U, where like that thing came out and it was more expensive than what a 360 and a PS3 were at that point, and then the new consoles were coming, a year later, and they came in at like $50 more, and it didn't work out well for them. So I don't know. I'm like, obviously I'm not doom and gloom here. Like Nintendo's in a much different place than they were with the Wii U. They're in a much different place from where they were when the Switch launched. Yeah, I mean, I think with the prices of the accessories going up, I think this is what we're gonna see from a lot of companies do, like not just in gaming, but like they're gonna find ways of maybe not like if they already have expensive, like if they're like equipment or whatever, like instead of like having significant price increases on that item itself, they're gonna find ways to like instead of like increasing the Nintendo console up $100 or $50 or $200 or whatever, They're going to increase the prices of other things, $5, $10, and that they're going to try to make up that money elsewhere before they increase the price of that thing. Like we've already seen like PlayStation announce a bunch of price increases, and like Canada and Europe, like they're going to try to find ways to like without like doing gigantic price increases, to find ways to kind of make more money elsewhere to help offset the cost of if these tariffs do hit and all that. Like they're going to try to find other ways to like try to smooth out potentially what the prices are. I think this is like the first thing, and then if the thing shit does hit the fan, and then all of a sudden those tariffs come in, then they have to jack it up 200, $100, $200. Then I guess obviously we're a ways away potentially, hopefully, from that happening, but who knows? But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, like I think they're in a tough spot too, because people were like, before all this stuff happened with the tariffs and the pre-orders getting delayed and all that, they were in a tough spot because people were already mad about pricing and the messaging. And like I talked about at the time, like I think the messaging was like, or the lack of messaging was probably what just made it worse than anything. Made it 10 times worse was just the fact that they just said nothing. And then like I talked about multiple times now, like just, everybody finding out online at the same time, and like everybody getting frustrated, can't figure out what's happening. Nintendo's not saying anything. They did all these interviews with journalists, and the journalists were embargoed for 5 days after the press event. So they couldn't say anything either, even though they had the answers. And it's just like, yeah, it's like we're all just finding out on the internet together. And then like, oh my God, here in the UK, it's $10 more it's $90 for Mario Kart physically. What? And it's like, yeah, it's like all that shit just created so much frustration and all that. So I think if they like it's like, it's so crazy. Like they did like finally confirm the price points of like Mario Kart and Donkey Kong, like officially in the US. 2 weeks later, they finally like officially, yeah, this is the price point. They are the same price, both physically and digitally. It's like, man, like this should have just been out there day one. Like, it's like immediately, like, even if you don't want to say it at the direct itself, like this should have just been on the website. But I don't know, like I said, this is a rough time. They probably picked one of the worst times to release a console ever. Like, to at least announce a price point and all that shit, like to do all that, like they're like, if they would have done this 6 months ago, like they probably originally wanted to, they're probably like, man, we should just done it. And then like, if the games weren't ready, then we'd have a long gap between games, because like the console would have sold out anyways last year, and like maybe they had Mario Kart and then we had to wait 6 months for Donkey Kong. Like probably would have been a lot better and a lot easier for everybody if they would have just done that. But obviously that's hindsight, so you can't really argue that. But I don't know. It's just like, it's just kind of nice to like, okay, we got the details out there. I am happy. Yeah, like I said, like for me personally, like I just want to buy the console and I just need Mario Kart and I'm good. So if and I will say, people, don't worry about getting the micro SD Express card. If you're only going to buy like first party games, unless you're going to go out and buy like 15 games or something, there's 256 gigabytes on those things. They put out the gigabyte space for like the first party games already. Look at those, because they're pretty small. Like they're usually like 20, 25 gigabytes. So if you're only going to buy a few games, maybe at launch or maybe in the first few months for this thing, you're probably going to be good on space for a while, especially if you're not going to be like, I don't know, like I'm pretty good at like, if I'm not playing a game anymore, if I know I'm done with it or done with it for a long time, I just leave it off my hard drive, so if you're pretty good, unless you want to like have everything downloaded, you want all your old, I guess, like, if you're going to want to bring on like a bunch of your Switch 1 games, then maybe it's different. But like, if you're not looking at that, you're not worried about that, like you'd probably be good for a while. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, think about what if you're like, you're like worried about, you're pinching pennies right now, and I get all that, think about what you really, really need before going out and buying a thing. Obviously, everybody's situation is different. But like, can I realistically, should I be buying a $500+ console right now? No, but I'm gonna do it, because I love video games, and I've waited over 8 goddamn years for this fucking thing, and I want to play fucking Mario Kart. All right. Speaking of Mario Kart, let's get to some fun shit here, Gables. I'm just ready. Like, I just want to be happy. I just want, once this fucking thing's out here and we're all playing it, I think it's my God, it's gonna be so much nicer. I cannot wait. I think a lot of people like will get over I mean, like I said, I'm not defending the price point of all this stuff. I get it. Everybody's situation is different on it. But I think once people get their hands on it, all the price stuff, maybe not all of it, but a lot of the price stuff will calm down. It's just one of those things, because we're so far out. It's like, it's where we are. But let's move on here. Gibbles, we had that Mario Kart Direct
Yes.
on was that Thursday. I have an
Yes.
article from Chris Scullion at VGC. It's like what, like 15, 16 minutes. Pretty short. I don't think there was like, I see a lot of people. Sorry to go back to the price stuff, but like a lot of people, I think were like hoping this was like, this is where they're gonna explain why it's $80, and I'm like, no, it's like it's $80 because people are gonna pay for it. That's why it's $80. But anyways, I thought it was kind of ridiculous that people were like, came out of that like, okay. Anyways, let's get to the fun shit here. Sorry. So they show off a bunch of courses out there. We have like the Boo Cinema, which is pretty cool. Like the Boo like Haunted Mansion is actually like a movie cinema. I like the fact too. There's like they have like that film grain over like the course. There's like they tease the Rainbow
Yes.
Road. We have like they showed like the free roam and stuff like that. So that they have a bunch of new items they revealed. They have the coin shell where like it's like a golden shell. You shoots out in front of you, and it leaves a trail of coins behind it and stuff. And you can use obviously the coins give you increase your top speed and give you a little boost. The ice flower that like freezes enemies. Look, honestly, I'm sorry to be kind of a little gross about this, but it just looks like semen. It looks like it's just shooting semen at people. I thought the hammer they had like the hammer bro comes out and one of them and he just shoots out hammers and like they stick to the ground for like a second and people can run into them. Kamek, is that how you say it? It was Kamek, the little wizard dude.
Yeah, that's what they had pronounced it as. I always thought it was just pronounced Kamek or something
Okay.
like that. Or...
I guess it's one of those things I've seen it a million times. I just don't think I've ever actually heard it out loud. What's cool though is like that will like transform people. So like I was hearing like people like some people were like getting turned into like ostriches or like random animals or creatures and stuff, and then like that one it showed like all the people like they got turned to like the football player from a Super Mario World. Like a bunch of them like popping up in the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then like the mega mushroom and the feather is back, and like the feather you can use to like jump over things, or like if like someone shoots a red shell out of you, you can like if you time it, you can jump over and the red shell will hit the person in front of you now instead of you. They introduced like the dash food, which is what they use. Like that's gonna be the thing. It's like almost like a pit stop type of thing. You drive to like a fat like Yoshi's like fast food place. I wonder if there Yoshi's in there. I don't know. But anyways, that's basically what you use to like it will like for like collecting the items. Basically, you get the food and like it's randomly generated, and then you eat the food and like you'll get like if it's sushi, you get like some like kind of like Japanese style clothing, or like I think one of them was like I don't remember what he ate, but like he turned to like Mario turned like a cowboy and shit. But they introduced like a bunch of that, like showed off a bunch of new characters you could play as. Gables, did you see the part where they had the dolphin that was riding on a dolphin motorcycle?
Yeah, dolphin on a dolphin motorcycle. That was really.
I love this game.
That was very like surreal.
Yeah, before we move on, Gables. Well, before I guess I know I've already started, but Gables, what was your thoughts on everything that was shown off in this direct?
Okay, so honestly, everything I thought about the direct, first and foremost, I mean, it was fairly safe. They did show a lot of what we kind of expected, returning courses with obviously a little bit of remixes and stuff that are scattered throughout the entirety of their open world-esque type of Mario Kart world here. So it's like the different characters kind of made sense too. I mean, there wasn't going to be like a lot of the various other franchise Nintendo characters appearing in the game right away, but you have characters like Wiggler and Goomba and Lakitu and like oh god,
Cow.
and obviously Charge and Chuck, I
Yeah.
think, is one of them as well.
Then
So you have all
there's that ostrich thing that like
what?
from Super Mario 3D World that like it
Yeah.
spikes in the ground.
Yep.
Man.
Yep, that ostrich appears as well.
Yeah. Man. It's almost turning into like a Super Mario Ultimate or Super Smash Bros. Ultimate situation where like I always had like 2 or 3 mains in previous Smash Bros. Games, and then Ultimate came out and it kind of broke me because like there were so many characters I want to play as. I didn't know who to main anymore. So I was like I just get overwhelmed by the options, so I just didn't play it as much because I'm like, well, I don't know who to play as. There's like too many good characters, and I've always been Luigi, and now I'm like looking at this, I'm like, oh, I want to be the cow. Well, fuck, now I kind of want to be that dolphin. Well, shit.
Or it could just be like how it was in Mario Kart DS or something like that, where everyone just wanted to be Dry Bones.
Oh yeah. Dry Bones is back. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That it's 50 characters in all. They had the 25 that they initially showed and stuff, and the other 25 are like reoccurring like Mario characters and like
50 characters?
like Mario enemies. What's that?
You said 50 characters?
I think it was like around that, I thought, because it's like when they showed the 25, the initial characters that we saw, like Mario, Peach, Bowser, and this and that. When you look at the actual back the back footage in terms of how many characters you can actually like select as, it looked like it was around like another 25
Oh my
characters.
god, I
But
didn't. Okay, I was thinking like 30 something. Okay, my god. All right, I'll have to go back and look at that. I guess I didn't do like a deep dive into the.
because they didn't go and just say the entirety of the characters though, but I thought that I read a list somewhere there was like about 50 characters in all that
Okay,
you
all
can
right.
play as.
I believe you. I never even thought about how many characters. Okay, Jesus. Okay,
But
that's
but like I was saying though, I thought that what they showed was fine. You know, you had like a lot of collectible stuff, and there's missions inside there you can complete if you want to. I yeah, I just thought it was just relatively safe and stuff. I mean, they didn't really go into like major details about both like with the pre-order stuff and like this and that
yeah.
because they wanted to kind of make that sort of separately and stuff. I thought it was all right. I thought it was like the basic stuff. A lot of stuff we've already known about for like the direct last week and stuff. So it's from the week previous, I should say.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was okay.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, I loved it. I was just like giggling like a
Yeah,
schoolgirl over here, and I'm not even like the gigantic like
yeah. There's a lot of fun stuff.
yeah like I wasn't even like I'm not even like a gigantic like Mario like Nintendo fan. Like I love Nintendo, but like like I
Yeah,
don't like I don't mark out typically for like stuff like that. And I was just like, I was like giggling over it, like, oh my god, what? Like just seeing like Pauline in like a skin tight outfit. Fuck yeah, let's go. Like that's the stuff I'm looking at. Obviously, just like or like just dumb shit like fucking. Like looking at this dumb uniform, like honestly, the costumes I think got me most excited. Just like how goofy like some of they
the
are.
costumes are awesome.
Like I think at one point, like Donkey Kong was like in a space outfit or something like that. I don't fucking remember. Like it's like I have so many questions.
And then
Uh,
Yoshi's inside of like sushi. It's like Yoshi's inside of like some sort of like not sushi suit or something like that, but like a like a Japanese chef or something like
oh
that.
really? Oh my, I didn't see that. Okay, yeah, no, it's just like in like this little the dancing animations they do like on like the main menu and you like the character select scenes and stuff like that. And like
Mhm.
it was just like it reminded me of like my senior prom, like the dumb dances I was doing like off to the side. I was just like these little dumb little like like you just like you keep your arms to your side. You don't move them anywhere, and you just kind of like shuffle you kind of just do like a light shuffle back and forth. And that's me. That's where I live. And that that's what like Mario was doing in the fucking on the character select scene. I'm like I love all this. Yeah, but like just seeing like the dumb like all the like the dumb like fun items that are gonna be there like the dash food stuff like I love the whole like they're kind of like they're doing away with like the zero gravity stuff and now we're doing like the charge jump and like the grind which you've already seen but like showing like how it's gonna work with like the charge like now you can like charge like almost like your boost instead but now on
Yes.
straightaways you can use that to jump higher. You can like jump over cars or you can like jump up and like grind across things. There's so many. It's like it just seems like there's so many more options now about like shortcuts or like doing obstacles or getting around. So much more like it's like I don't know. I feel like they're gonna almost it's gonna be like a little in some ways easy. Like it's not gonna be as punishing for like when you make mistakes because there's like so many more options now about like like
Hmm.
now you can like yeah if you go off the side well there's a railing there or you can like wall jump but you can also like when you jump onto a thing you can like grind it on the wall and do like a wall grind and stuff like that and they did like show like you have the rewind feature, which is cool, but like I know like Forza Horizon does that already, and you can do, but you can rewind, but like everybody else keeps going, which is cool. So like
Yep.
obviously there's a risk there though of like you rewind, you're rewinding 2-3 seconds, but everybody else is driving for 2-3 seconds, so there's that risk reward there. But I like that. It really is like it just seems like these guys just played like this team like just played like Forza Horizon for like a year, and it's like how can we innovate this, but like with a Nintendo twist? And it's like I love all that. Like I'm someone that like really likes Forza Horizon, and it's like I just like I love how like the way like they not only incorporated this into their game, but like did a fun Nintendo twist onto it, and like there's all the dumb shit they're doing with it. I love the whole free roam stuff, which at first didn't sound like appealing to me, but like then they show like there's like P switches everywhere, or there's hidden coins, or there's like panels, like there's like
Yep.
little time trials you got to do, like you unlock more stuff that way. I'm curious, like there's like peach coins or whatever, I can't remember what they're called, but like I'm curious, like does that like what do you get out of that? The knockout mode looks awesome. I love that. It's it's just like
Hmm.
this battle royale mode that just like looks super duper fun. It's like 6 tracks in one race basically, which yeah I cannot wait. Like man, it's good. What's gonna suck is like it's one of those things where like it's gonna sound awesome, but it's like I don't know. It's like one of those things where like it's gonna be more fun with friends. It's like how many of my friends are gonna have this thing at launch, and just getting people together and play the thing. Is gonna be,
That's a good question.
yeah, it's like it might just be you, me, and Justin that might have this thing at launch, maybe, hopefully.
Probably.
And like yeah, but like the knockout mode looks incredible. Like my biggest thing though is like, obviously like that the online, because like I'm waiting still. I'm assuming there's gonna be a price increase, at least for like the next tier, that the expansion pack or whatever. Especially with they're adding GameCube, I'm assuming there's gonna be a price increase. I'm assuming that base model is probably gonna have a price increase on Switch too, from like 20 to 30 or whatever. And I'm like, man, like especially they're gonna be doing like the video chat with the camera and all that. I'm like, I mean, we know like it looks like bad Discord, but I'm like, my God, like, I just like if the online can just run well and be like good, I'll be so happy. Like that's all I want. Like, please just be good. Just be stable. Like, that's that. I mean, yeah, but yeah, I was.
Please do not work like. Well, one thing I would just think about in terms of like the online stuff is just please do not be like you are running through a Windows 95 PC.
Yeah, yeah. Don't run as well as the Nintendo Wi-Fi did when I played Mario Kart DS in 2004. Like be better than that. And I feel like that's a stretch, even for them to do. But yeah, I was blown away by this. I'm surprised how this kind of like. I figured you'd be more excited than I was, and I came out. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go. Like, I'm not even like, I love Mario Kart.
It's exciting.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but it's just like I was just like blown away by this. Like I said, like I don't know what people were expecting, like to do like the whole like expecting like to explain why it's $80, but I'm like, to me, I'm like, I'm not even mad about the $80 because I'm like, cool, like this is like I'm gonna play the fuck out of this game. It's gonna be like this is gonna be a game that like hell yeah, I can't wait. Like I was saying, I'm like, man, like. I was so happy to put my Switch 1 away a couple months ago when I bought my Steam Deck, and now I'm like, I kind of want to pull my Switch 1 out and play Mario Kart 8 right now because I'm like I'm just jonesing for Mario Kart, which some might die never say. But yeah, I'm gonna be strong. I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna let the anticipation grow for me. But yeah, that man, that might that quickly became maybe my most anticipated game so far that we know of for the rest of the year. So at least. For the next like 3 or 4 months until College Football comes out, then all bets are off. But okay, let's move on to our last topic here that we have. So we've been talking about this for a while now. It's been teased and rumored out there. But Oblivion, the remake, remaster, whatever you want to call it, Jeff Grubb and other people have been talking about for a long time, like Nate the Hate and Andy Robinson from VGC have been talking about for a long time now. But on top of that, like Jeff Grubb's been saying it's going to get revealed and shadow drop sometime this month. He did say, I believe last week, it sounds like the 23rd. So I don't know if there's going to be some sort of Xbox event on Monday or on Wednesday. Maybe they announce something on Monday. We're recording this on Saturday night, so this will become Sunday morning. So not too long after this comes out, maybe they'll say something on Monday about like, hey, on Wednesday there'll be a thing, or I don't know. But anyways, so it looks like all that's true. Like the remaster, remake, whatever you want to call it, is true. There was some people have leaked out actual images and screenshots of the game itself. They found it in some like files on the website, on the Virtuous website. Like it has like the main, like that looks like the main menu, and a couple like screenshots of like some insides like a buildings and like some people like with a bow and arrow. Yeah, but it's officially called Oblivion Remastered. And I want to try to find. There was some other information. I meant to pull out some stuff here from the article, but yeah. So people like posted on Reset Era. But it is actually being made. One of the teams that's helped working on it is actually the Virtuous studio, which is people making Metal Gear Solid 3, which was official. It was we know that for a fact. But yeah, this will be coming to PC, Xbox, Game Pass, and also PS5. So we do know that. And yeah, it sounds like it's coming. Oh, so this is the fun part I meant to give you. Sorry about this. So there will be a deluxe edition that you can buy alongside the normal version. The deluxe edition will include extra weapons and, Gables, get this, horse armor.
I see what they did there.
Yep. Honestly, not even mad about it. Not even mad about it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but like I said, it sounds like it's coming on Wednesday. I mean, Gables, I don't know how big of a fan of Oblivion you were, or how much you played it back in the day, but is this is there a little bit of you that's excited to play this at all?
Well, there is a little part of me that kind of wants to try to see what exactly has changed in regards to Oblivion. I've tried playing Oblivion a couple different times. I never really could get my entire like sink into initial gameplay of like a playthrough or something like that. But I do know I did like a lot of what I did initially played. I I thought it was kind of like interesting when you had to go and do certain things and stuff, and like you would improve certain increments of like your attributes or something. Like say if you were jumping for a while, it just increase your jumping, or if you're crouching and going for a while, just increase your stealth thing one thing at a time. I'm gonna be kind of curious though what they're gonna be doing to improve in terms of this remaster rather than just the graphical fidelity stuff.
Yeah.
Like, is there gonna be any type of various plotline stuff that are edited? Is there gonna be like some sort of like enhancements in terms of how you level up in this game? But I think my excitement level is just kind of like moderate, you know? Like
Yeah.
I'm excited to see when it's going to be unveiled. Kind of curious about what they've changed. But if it ends up being something I kind of want to give it a shot, you know, I mean, I'm more interested in giving that a shot than say like play some of the other ones that are kind of similar to it, but yeah, just kind of don't hold my interest too much.
Yeah. Yeah. So like they did. So from some of the stuff that's been reported out there is that there's improvements to, like the blocking system. They've been like kind of inspired by like
Hmm.
Souls-like games for that. The stamina system has been modified. So this is a direct quote here. Um, the stamina system was modified to be less frustrating for players, making the knockdown that occurs when stamina is depleted more difficult to activate through changes in calculation methods. The HUD was changed to make it easier to understand and more aesthetically appealing to younger players. Hit reactions were also added to improve the response to damage inflicted on players and NPCs. Finally, archery was improved to make it more playable and modern in both third and first person view. So, um, yeah, and they said also it sounds like there's some improvements to like the sneaking system and stuff as well. So there's been some improvements to like the gameplay overall, but I don't. Yeah. So, but I think it's not gonna be like a. This isn't like a sounds like a made from the ground up remake. Which yeah, I don't. I think for the most part, I think there's gonna be a lot of. I don't know how many new people are gonna be playing this one. You know, like as far as like younger generation people, but like there's probably a lot of people that were maybe like teenagers when this came out, maybe or.
Hmm.
I guess I mean technically I think that was like what 2006 this came out, so 2005. So like I mean technically we were teenagers when this came
Roughly.
out, but yeah, it's one of those things where like definitely like um, I remember playing it for like an hour or two when I first got my 360, but I got mine in like summer 2007. So there was like I was playing like Gears and Mass Effect and Forza and
Hmm.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance and Dead Rising back then. So and Bioshock came out. I was playing Bioshock by the time that thing came out. So yeah, I was playing some other games. I never really got into it. Plus back then like this was not a Tyler game, especially at 16, 17 when I got my 360. Yeah, like honestly, it's like it kind of sucks the timing of it, and I honestly I feel bad. I talked about this a few weeks ago when we first started hearing about reports of it coming in April. Is that this thing is reportedly hitting on the 23rd on Game Pass. Xbox has been doing a whole marketing push for a little game called Clair Obscur 33 that's coming out on Thursday. That is also a gigantic, maybe not gigantic, but it's like a 30, 40-hour RPG that's coming out,
Hmm.
will be coming out, if this is all true, the day after. And it's been heavily marketed. It's coming to Game Pass. I'm incredibly excited for it. I've been hearing some rumblings for some people. It sounds like this game is going to be really good, or is really good. So I'm super pumped for that one. So it's like, timing wise, it's just like for what I'm looking for, I'm way more excited for Clair Obscur 33 than I would be Oblivion remaster. It's like if this would have came out, in like January or something like that, or maybe even like I don't know March sometime, when there wasn't other games I wanted to play. Like I probably definitely would have dabbled into it, but I don't know, like definitely like I playing Avowed a couple months ago. I was like I fucking adore Avowed, so I don't know. Like I'll probably try it, but I'm like I want to say like yeah I'm gonna try it, but I'm gonna to jump into it and probably it's one of those things. If I played it and I got into it, I'd probably really like it. But I was like I'm also just looking at like being honest, like looking at like we have full time jobs. This is like we do this video games is a hobby. Um, and it's just like I'm looking at like Clair Obscur next week. I'm looking at you know uh fucking Doom is in a few weeks. Then shortly after that, it's like oh god, there's that Souls game that's coming out like into May. It's the same day as Elden Ring. I can't remember what it's called. Lost Souls, I want to say it was. That game looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Then right after that, we have fucking the Switch will launch. Then right after that, it's like Death Stranding 2 is coming out. Then right after that, like Tony Hawk's coming out. You know, it's like right after that, it's college football's coming out. Then it's Madden. Then it's fall. You know, it's like, you know, on top of that, we have Summer Game Fest. It's like then there's Donkey Kong in there somewhere too. It's like there's like so many games, not including like not even think about indie games and all that shit and like things that have yet to be announced. It's like I want to say I'm gonna get to it, but I don't know if I'm gonna get to it. You know, and it's like at least this year. I might get to it next year. Or, I don't know. Maybe there's like a I don't know. Like I played a bunch of big ass games last year when I was in between gaps, but I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna be happening again this year. But I don't know. I'm happy for the people. Like I have a lot of friends that like they played that game for years and years and years, really until like Skyrim came out, and then they played Skyrim for years. And it's just like I have friends that like I told them about it, and they're like they have not stopped talking about it. And they're super pumped for it. So I'm happy for them. Because like they're gonna like they're pumped, and there's a lot of people out there that are incredibly excited to jump into this. So that's good for them. But yeah, I think that's good. Oh, I did want to mention a couple things, Gables. A couple like little things this week. Something that might be one of these things might be fun. So Destiny, Bungie did announce there will be a Destiny 2 Edge of Fate next month. There'll be an event next month for that on May 6th, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And this will be like a reveal everything of. It's going to wrap up the story for for Destiny 2. It's called the Edge of Fate. I know you obviously you're like you've talked about like you've kind of said goodbye last year to Destiny 2.
Yep.
How are you? I'm assuming you're going to watch it, at least check it out. How likely do you think it is that you jump into this?
Okay, in terms of jumping in and actually playing it, I mean, it's fairly low. I mean, I'm talking about maybe like less than 5%.
Okay.
Because at the same time, I'm really just like dead set of just saying, hey, I am done with Destiny 2 after the final expansion stuff initially came out and stuff. I played through the initial thing. I battled the witness. I did that and stuff. I haven't even touched anything in terms of Destiny 2 for like over a year now. At least close. It's going to be getting close to over a year. But as far as this, I may just end up watching it because I'm kind of curious to see how everything else all ties up and under end and stuff. But yeah, that's just how I feel about it. I don't really have too much of expectations for it. Just watch or whatever and stuff and see what happens.
All right. Cool. All right. Just kind of curious. I want to get your take on that before we see it. It's a couple weeks away, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. All right. But Gables, let's jump into what we've been playing. Do you want me to go first? You want to go first?
I'll go first because it's not going to be extremely long and stuff. So, continuation upon the past couple of weeks, I've still been playing like the Cowabunga Collection. For my birthday, I decided to do something that I have never done before, and that's play through the entirety of Turtles in Time, because I've never beaten Turtles in Time, not when it was on the Super Nintendo or the arcade version or anything else. So I end up beating both versions of that game, like I think in the same day. I'll say this: there's a reason why people consider Turtles in Time the best Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game for a hell of a long time, up until like Shredder's Revenge and like whichever. And it's because it's a pretty solid beat 'em up from beginning to end. It kind of reminds me like the quality of say like Streets of Rage 2 was for the Sega Genesis, to where it's like people really love Streets of Rage 2, and for great reason. Great music, great gameplay, great stage selection stuff, a lot of memorable moments inside of that game. The same could be rang true for Turtles in Time, because you start out the Big Apple like 5 like 3 a.m. or something like that or whatever with this, and then you're just playing through the entirety of like the different type of stages, facing off against familiar foes. It's like say like Baxter Stockman or like Shredder or Super Krang or this or that and stuff. The music is absolutely fantastic. Once you get into like the levels and stuff to where you have to go into like the the mode 7 stuff, this is what's really crazy about it. There are distinct differences between the arcade version and the Super Nintendo version of Turtles in Time. Inside the Super Nintendo version, there's some aspects inside one of the stages where you face off against Super Krang for the first time that you can literally go from like you go from a perspective to where you're like going like almost in a 3D thing, like you're rushing towards the screen or something like that, and you're just defeating all of these like foot soldiers and this and that, and then halfway through the stage it pans to like a side view of you going from like left to right and stuff, and then you're just defeating a bunch of different foot soldiers until you face off against Super Krang. But in the arcade version, they just spam a whole bunch of fucking foot ninja, like foot soldiers or something like that, while you're doing like from like side to side, just like static, like going from side to side, just racing. I thought that was pretty funny. Just little nuances and stuff, and the rotation of bosses was different too. Like Baxter Stockman, I think you didn't really face him until like later on, I think, inside of the arcade version, but he's the first boss in the Super Nintendo version. I will say though, I did love the gimmick where as soon as you get to the Technodrome and stuff, you face off against Shredder the first time and stuff, you beat him, and then you're just thrusted like inside of this time loop and stuff. You have the prehistoric age, like you go to like say the pirate era and stuff. It was a hilarious boss battle. You get to play against, you get to fight against like Bebop and Rocksteady. They're all dressed up like pirates and all this other shit, and you're just beating the shit out of one and stuff while you're trying to avoid attacks from the other. And basically, what I ended up finding on discovering is I actually targeted both of them, pinned them to the back of like part of the boat and stuff, and started just waylailing on one and stuff. It just kind of stun locked them into place. I'm like, oh, there we go. And then what's hilarious though is like you go through all these different bosses, and you go up to the final boss. It's Super Shredder, right? Kind of like from TMNT 2. The most hilarious part about this final boss battle is it's fairly predictable to to see what his attack pattern is. He goes through three separate attacks. He has a red aura to where he just has like a trail of fireballs that he shoots off like on the ground. Then he has like this blue aura to him where he'll shoot ice projectiles into the air. Then the last one's the green aura where he pretty much just shoots a Kamehameha from his fucking from his fist. But this one this one was really goddamn fun from like beginning to end, dude. I mean, I had a fucking blast playing this. I had so much of a blast that when I went to the arcade mode, I tried to try a little bit of the other Turtles games up until that point. I even went through and played through the entirety of Hyperstone Heist. That was the Genesis spin on like a Turtles in Time. Different game. There are almost similar sprites to Turtles in Time. Some enemies are borrowed and then kind of reused in some aspects, but in the end of the day, it's definitely a different type of feel and experience than say like Turtles in Time. It feels like a step down playing Hyperstone Heist and beating that as opposed to like playing through Turtles in Time doing that and stuff because there's some certain high moments that are just not there. You'll see some familiarized like characters and villains and stuff. Baxter Stockman is not like in inside of his fly form. He's like in his human form still inside of one of the boss one of the boss gauntlet fights towards the end of the game. I mean, you basically have like Rocksteady, you have like Tatsu, one of the movie villains and stuff like that, and like I don't know, just random shit. And other than like Krang and Shredder, yeah, it's like it's still fun. I mean, I played this game like off and on the Genesis like the past like 10 years and stuff, but yeah, man, tried that. I tried playing a bit of the sequel to TMNT on Game Boy. That fucking thing's hard as shit. And I'm not joking, dude. I mean, even when you do turn on the enhancements for that stuff, like say for like Infinite Lives or anything of that sort, there are specific portions in this game where the AI gets so like spammy in terms of the enemy respawns. There's this one stage I'm going through. I'm not even halfway through the game, and I'm at this construction stage, and all these Mausers keep popping up. Like literally like two or three Mausers keep on popping up, and I'm still trying to like just defeat one of them, but you're just slow enough to where they'll just hit you and stuff, and you try to turn, you try to destroy them, and it's like they just keep coming at you quicker than they should. And so my instinct is like, okay, let's rush from the start of the stage to like towards like where I need to go with the part of the stage. Every time, even when I rewind, even when I do save state stuff, it doesn't feel like I'm doing something right. because I'm rushing through the stage. I'm jumping on the different platforms to avoid these Mousers, and I'm still getting hit, and I'm still taking hits. I'm still fucking dying to shit. It was more egregious when I'm facing off against the battle against Bebop and stuff, where I'm trying to predict his patterns, right? And I have his patterns down, but the way that the sprites are, like the boss sprite feels a little bit too big in terms of the area where it'll hurt you, whereas your sprite for your turtle, it seems like it's like a little bit. It feels like a little bit like smaller in a way because he can go through and inflict damage to you like fairly easy, while as you on the other hand, it just feels like unbalanced in some aspects. Like you can't really do damage to your opponent as good as what the bosses can really do to you. So say if you try to jump over a boss, you have to do a pixel perfect jump in order to try to avoid that stuff. And that type of shit in video games really annoys me, especially when it comes to the retro stuff. Tried that. I tried TMNT 3, the NES version and stuff. That's still fun. It's not too bad and stuff. But the one game that I was playing yesterday, which was kind of fascinating to me, it's the whole Metroidvania version of TMNT. This is the third Game Boy game. This is the third game, Turtles game, on the Game Boy. And what ends up happening is you start off as Michelangelo, and you're trying to find your other three brothers inside of his hideout, right? And it's structured like a game of like Metroid, like where you have to when you pause the game, you see an overlay of the map, and if you turn on the enhancements to where you see the helpful icons and like particular things and stuff, you can see, oh, okay, I need to go there and stuff, and there's a boss I need to face, and okay, this is the spot where I need to unlock like a cage to rescue one of the turtles and stuff. Was actually this was actually pretty fun to play initially because I kept trying to just trying to go and like explore each individual spot. I end up finding, oh, okay, so if I go this way, I find the key to this. There's obviously a roadblock here that I need to use somebody's ability in order to like crush the ground and stuff in order to get to some place else I need to go. So I end up going, retracing my steps. I face off against a boss character. One of the bosses I'm facing, first off, is called Scratch, which Scratch is like this gigantic like mouse. I think it's like some sort of squirrel or something like that, convict or whatever the hell. That dude was fucking hard to. It was almost freaking hard to beat as well because it's kind of the similar thing to the previous Game Boy game. The sprites feel kind of a little bit too big in some aspects for boss characters, but I did like that you could switch in between one of the four different characters, like turtles, on the fly. Each turtle has their own special ability. Like Michelangelo, he has a thing to where when he can use his nunchaku, he can use it like sort of like a little miniature like helicopter, right? So he'll float across certain gaps to get to certain areas. Whereas Leonardo's, he has a ground pound type of technique to where he'll just spin around like in a tornado fashion and stuff and start breaking blocks and stuff. But yeah, that one seemed to be the most interesting out of the remaining ones. And quite honestly, I feel like I'm getting close to just saying, okay, I've had my fill with this. Because at this moment in time, I don't have any desire to go back to the TMNT NES game. The Game Boy game, the Game Boy game, like the TMNT 2, I don't know if I want to go back to that. The NES thing for Turtles 3, maybe. But it's just basically TMNT 3 Radical Rescue that has the most interest that I have left. And so I'll just play a little bit more, see if I want to go on. But if I don't, I'll go on to something else. But Tyler, what have you been playing?
Um, Not a whole lot. It's been just been busy with work still, but I do want to talk about real fast. I did get a game a review code for a game called Little Brave. I got it a little while ago.
Okay.
And I've been trying to play it on Steam. Like it's
Uh-huh.
really gorgeous. Like kind of the art style reminds me almost of like Braid, but it's a 2D game. But like there's combat stuff like that. It's a gorgeous game. Music's fantastic. I was able to play it for like 20 minutes. There were some issues that I got like like a couple days before it came out. It's been on Steam. It's been on Steam, and they've done some patches. That it sounds like they fixed a lot of stuff. And I've been trying to play it, but my Steam Deck will just not boot it up, and I don't know why.
Oh,
So I don't think it doesn't seem like it's an issue on um, like the game's end. It sounds like it's an issue on my end, but I uninstalled the game, I reinstalled it. I cannot get it to work. So I did want to mention, like, I got a review code for that. I like I said, like, I played of it, like I only played like 20, 30 minutes of it, to be fair. But I was like, a game I want to go back to. Just kind of, just wait. And I seen it did a few updates, seemed like it was all right. It's in a better spot. And then I was like, all right, well, now I can't play it. So I'm gonna keep giving it a shot. I'm gonna try to see if I can find something else about it. Okay, like I said, the game looks gorgeous. It seems like a Tyler game. I just haven't been able to play it, so I am looking forward to
right.
checking that out. But another game I've been playing. I did buy this one. It came out. I believe it was just actually like last week. I want to say. It is called. I believe it's called Koira. 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 I'm not sure I'm supposed to say that. I'm sorry. But it's a small indie game that came out. I think it's like $16. It's on. I think it's
Okay.
at least it's on PlayStation and Steam that I know of. I've been playing on PS5. This is once again a Tyler game. Um, Basically, it's like a top-down view, but like you play as like this character. It's very like, but he's like it's all like black, like silhouette. Um, and you find like you discover a dog. You're like, and it's like snowy in the woods. Very beautiful art style, great music. You find this dog in the woods, which obviously it's a Tyler thing right there for you. You have a dog, and you basically going through these woods in the snow, trying to solve puzzles and help out other creatures and other animals in the forest. But like you all translate, basically the whole game is built around like music and like the way you communicate. Like you press circle, and like the way you talk, but you like musical notes come out of your mouth, and like the same thing with the dog. And like as you progress and you help people, you learn new musical notes, and you can like basically like it's almost like you learning these new notes is like learning a new language with like all these creatures and
Hmm.
stuff like that have their own like languages, and you basically have to learn it. Um, and yeah, like I said, the music is fantastic. I love, obviously the dog around here. Art style is the stunning. It is everything I love in a video game. Like the puzzles are never really super hard. It's usually just like, um, I don't know. I'd say it's like you can figure them out like after a minute or two. It's really just more exploring and just like, all right, cool. I need to like
Hmm.
find you can find a snowball and like you got to use it, knock this thing down, to get this item to then bring it over here and like do this and do whatever you got to do, like to put something together or whatever. It's usually just about. It's more like about, just the art, the music, and like just like oh my god, look at these cute little creatures. Like there's like you gotta help this family of like this family of boar, from these like hunters and stuff like that. And it's like a lot of stealth elements of like, yeah, all right, cool. Now these hunters are mad because they're going after you. You gotta like hide in between things and like you use things like sneak around them. Like you gotta distract them with like crate noise over here, or you can like step on these sticks that crack and like, oh, they'll go over here and you go around them. Like it's never like nothing's like super duper hard. Like they do have it like if you get discovered, it's like basically like you do it, like you have like start over kind of thing, but like you always put you right back to where you were. And it it's never super hard to get around it, but it's like I don't think it's like a 2.5 3 hour long game. Um, I was enjoying it. Like I'm not saying like I was like loving it. Like oh my god, this is like gonna be like one of those like indie games that I cherish forever type thing. But like I was enjoying it for what it was. And, like I was like, man, this music is stunning. There's multiple points of like they just do these like visual shots. And I'm just like, oh my god, I love this. This is like I'm like smiling. I'm like this is this is fucking art right here. Like this is awesome. And I was really enjoying it. And then I got after like I don't know like hour and a half, hour 45 minutes, still playing, still enjoying it. And I got stuck in this part where like you're getting chased. It turns into a chase sequence, and I kept getting to this point where like my character would just stop, and I have no idea why, and they would like catch you every single time, and it was like I did like 3 or 4 times, and it's not a super long chase sequence. It's probably like 30ish seconds, but like after like the third or fourth time, I'm like I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I was getting annoyed, because I'm like I'm just redoing this like whole thing, and it's like it's only been 3 or 4 minutes, but it's like it's like one of those things. It's just long enough that's annoying. Um, so I was like, all right, I guess I'm like I don't know what I'm trying to like. Okay, do I need like because there's like only like you hit press circle and you sing. You press the X button like with pick up items, and that's all you do. And I'm like, there's no other like there's no run button, there's no jump button, there's nothing. It's like you move with the left analog stick. So I'm like, what am I doing wrong here? So I pull up multiple like walkthroughs on YouTube that go to that section, and nobody's game did that. Like Like everybody, like they just
Hmm.
like you run and like eventually you run and you fall, you jump off a cliff, and that's how that sequence ends. And every time I get to like right where the cliff is, and my character will just stop, and like I'm not letting go of the joystick. I'm not doing like I've tried. I'm like, all right, I'll try it with the D-pad. So I did the whole section like with the D-pad. I'm like, what am I like? I did it. I pushed. I had both thumbs on the joystick, holding it down just to like make sure I'm not screwing up. I'm like, is it a drift issue? I'm like, no, it's not a drift issue. So I did this like 7, 8 times. And I'm like, what am I? I'm like, all right, fuck. Like I finally got like I went and I looked it up and like I was reading some of the comments on the other like walkthroughs I saw, and people were tagging that moment, like time coding that, and like saying the exact same thing I am. So I'm thinking it's a bug, maybe. I don't know,
Hmm.
because it's not just me apparently. But like I don't know. I just like I turned it off. I'm like I'm all right. I kind of like rage quit it. I'm like I'm done. Like because I stopped it. I quit out of the game. I went back in. What sucked was that the checkpoint for that was not great. I put me like 5 minutes behind. I'm like, all right, I did that. I'm like, all right, I go through and do this whole section again, which is not very hard. It's just like just getting to that section again. It's just kind of annoying. Did all that, did it again, same issue. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I'm just done for now. And like, it sucks because like I'm liking this game. I enjoy this game. I just want that. I need to like go in and like I need to go like on maybe go check out Reddit or something like that. Like find like 'cause I remember I ran into this last year with the Tales of Contender where there was like one section where like I went left instead of right, and
Hmm.
I should have went right, but like because I went left, it put like a soft lock on something, and I remember I posted it on like the help page or whatever, and they put a patch out a couple days later and it fixed it. So I think maybe I'm in that same point again with this game though, and with I don't know, like I looked at like according to like these walkthroughs, I'm like 45 minutes away from like finishing the game, so I'm like I'm close enough that I want to like finish the game. Like if this was 20 minutes in, I'd be like fuck this game, I'm done. But I'm like I want to close enough. I want to finish it. I want to see where the story goes. I'm like this dog better not fucking die. I'd be pissed off. I'm invested in this dog. But yeah, no, I like I said, I really like this game. It's just really upset that like I was like ready to come in here and like, hey man, this like I'm not like one of the greatest indie games ever. I'm like no, but I'm like this is a really fun, really good indie game, really great art, like a really great like art house game. I'm like man, I really highly recommend this people. And I still will say as of right now, I would highly recommend it. Like maybe wait for a patch or two. I don't know. Look into that part, but like I really liked it. And if like this is like a game that sounds like it's for you, put it on the wish list maybe, and just wait. I guess because like it's a game worth checking out. I think, and it's just like maybe there's like I don't know. It seems like maybe it's just like I don't know. Maybe I'm just one of the unlucky few. But yeah, no, I don't know. But yeah, that's all I've been playing. Plan on playing. Hopefully, be able to play some Clay Obscure 33. Hopefully, in this time next week, Gables will be talking about our Switch 2 pre-orders that we both have. Um, and just be one less thing to worry about. And we both got the Mario Kart 8 bundle. We got a random check in the mail for $1 million. Um, I don't know. The
Uh,
Dodgers lost 7 games in a row. I don't know what else would what else would make us happy? Like the Warriors sweep the Rockets, the Pistons advance to the second round of the playoffs. Um, those all sound good to you, Gables?
yeah, yeah, pretty much for the most part.
Okay, all right, cool. Well then, yeah, let's wish for all those things, guys. But yeah, thank you guys so much for checking us out. If you guys liked us, like what we're doing, please help us out going on the YouTube channel, subscribing, following, 5-star reviews, liking Apple Podcast, Spotify, wherever. Share with your friends, do all those things, comments, help us out with the algorithm. Tell your friends. Uh, go to your if you're in a work truck right now, crash a work truck, and run around in the field like a maniac and just yell "DrunkNerds podcast, DrunkNerds podcast." If you're working in office, find a secretary, shake them, tell them about the Drunk Nerds podcast. Let them know about it. You know what? If you have a relative that just died, before you pack up all their things, maybe go on their computer, go on YouTube. If they don't have an account, sign them up for an account for YouTube, and then just subscribe to us. Click on a few podcasts, hit the like button, comments, let us know, hey, this is my dead grandma's account. Just say I love the show, and then you can just pack up the computer, and you're good forever. Do all those things. We'll love you forever. But I was your host, I was Tyler. Gables, you want to follow that
and
one
I
up,
have
buddy?
been Colonel Gables.
Love you guys. Bye.
And I've been Colonel Gables, dude. So until next time, have a fun time. Thank you for listening to another fun-filled episode of the Drunk Nerds podcast, and don't do neither of those things.
do all those things and more. Too sweet.
Too sweet, man.
Bye, guys.
See ya.